أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين الآن إلى يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء. So last week we discussed وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء, by your might, against which nothing can resist. Your might, your izzah, your real power. Now the second sentence, it means the next sentence is وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء, and by your greatness. عظمة. Allah is real azim. You might call someone great, but true greatness belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just like when you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is great, and that meaning is not comparative. Akbar, although the word is comparative word, but there is no comparison with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is not bigger than something. Yes, Allah is big. Allah is great. He's not greater than someone. He's just great. When you say greater to anyone else, yes, he might be greater than someone. But with Allah, Allah is absolutely great. And his greatness, his azamah, has filled everything in this world. It's so beautiful. Mala'at kulla shay. Azamat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has filled everything in this world. What does this mean? Allah's azamah filled everything. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of fundamental and basic belief of true Islam is that Allah is absolutely one, and he is not a body. Nothing can go into him, and he will never go into something else. Which is called hulul in Arabic. So mala'at kulla, he is filling something. So Allah does not fill bodily, physically something, some place. When you are sitting, for example, now I'm sitting on a chair. So I'm filling the space equal to my body mass. So I'm filling that space, that place. This does not apply on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is not filling things physically, because he is not physical being. But his azamah, his greatness, his being tremendous and great, this attribute is evident in every single thing in this world. This is what this means, that he is filling. When you say mala'at, mala means to fill something. So whatever you see in this world, to whatever a thing or a person, and you start thinking about the creation, you start realizing the tremendousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This means azamat of Allah is everywhere. Just like wasi'at rahmatuhu wasi'at kulla shay. Allah's rahmat has encompassed everything, and his azamah is filling every single thing. So if you reflect, If any human being truly reflects on things, anything he has or anything he looks to, start thinking about it. Just look to the tree and one leaf of the tree, and just see that this leaf, one single leaf, has a whole world in it. If you want to analyze it scientifically and put it under microscope, then you will find amazing, creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will amaze you, every single thing. So Allah's greatness is everywhere. The only thing you need is to reflect. If you don't reflect, you will not see anything. But if you reflect, you will see Allah everywhere. And this is what one day Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam had said. He replied to someone who had the objection on Imam Ali alayhi salam when he was giving the khutbah and the sermon describing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, you are describing Allah as you have seen him. Did you see Allah? He said, no. Who can? Then he said, yes, of course I have seen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I cannot praise someone who I have never seen. But I did not see him with this eye, this physical eye. I cannot see him with physical eye because he is not physical being. But I have seen him with the eyes of my heart and my mind, which means that you can see Allah and see Allah's greatness and see the evidence of Allah's existence everywhere in this universe to whatever person or thing you start reflecting. That reflection will bring you to recognition of God, and true recognition of God. You can start recognizing him with in-depth recognition. وَبِسُلْطَانِكَ الَّذِي عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Sultan, again, Sultan means force, Sultan means power, Sultan means reign, sovereignty. So Allah's sovereignty and Allah's power and his force, ala kulla shay, overcomes everything, is above everything. So when you call someone Sultan, you might mean by Sultan a king, a powerful person. He has Sultan from Sulta means authority. He has the authority. And he has the sovereignty. But authority and sovereignty and power and force, anyone has, to whatever extent he has, it is totally limited. You might call someone superpower. The countries are superpower. Our country is called superpower, but its superpower is limited power. Allah's power, God's power, is totally unlimited. Unlimited. Nobody can limit, even in his thinking. Is his imagination, he cannot imagine his power. So Allah's power and Allah's reign and Allah's authority on this universe, nobody can even imagine it. How can somebody imagine the power of God while he cannot imagine the power of his creation? You cannot imagine the power of this creation you have here in this universe. You cannot imagine how big this universe is. So how can you imagine that how great its creator is? How can you imagine about the creator of this huge, unlimited? For us, unlimited. For Allah, is everything is limited. For us, everything is, or such things are unlimited. Unlimited. You cannot limit the universe. The only thing we can say today, that the universe is expanding. Expanding. Yes, expanding to what? From where it is expanding? What are the limits of this universe? What are the limits? So you cannot limit the universe. You just can say just unlimited space, and still this unlimited space is expanding. So how about the power of the one who created this universe? بِسُلْطَانِكَ عَلَى. So I ask you, Allah, see, in the beginning in dua, you are recognizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who you are talking to. How beautiful this dua is. How great this dua Kumail is. From beginning, all these sentences just talking about greatness of Allah, might of Allah, right? His force, his power, his source, and his tremendousness, his greatness, his, powers. Once you know that who you are talking to, the second step will be speak about yourself, who you are, how humble you should be in front of that great God, how you should talk to him, how you should come in front of him, how humble you should be. So first, in the beginning of dua, you are recognizing Allah, or at least you are acknowledging that you cannot recognize him, the true recognition. You cannot know him, but you know his power. Yes, you know that he is so much powerful. Although you cannot limit all his power, you cannot imagine his power, but you can know that his power is ala kulla shay. See, so the beauty of every single sentence. Bi'azamatik. For example, Allah is great, he is tremendous, he is azim, great. How great is he? Mala'at kulla shay. Whenever you see, you will find his greatness. That's it. These are your limits of understanding. That look to anything in this world and you will find the greatness of Allah there. How powerful is he? وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء. How powerful is he? How powerful is he? You cannot know how powerful is he. Yes, you know those who are the most powerful people or most powerful countries in this world, most powerful group of people in this world, today or in the past, all of them are nothing compared to the power of God. All powers someday will perish, all powers someday will go away, all powers someday will lose their status, except Allah. So don't look to his powers, look to any powerful person or entity in this world, and see that how weak they are in front of power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we cannot limit the power of Allah, we cannot understand his power, but we can understand the weakness of his creation in front of him. The same about how great is he. We can see everything around us. How his power ran, and his sovereignty is, how his power and authority is ala kulli shay, over everything. Bisultan means his power is above all powers. His sovereignty is over every sovereignty. His power is over every power. This way we understand Allah, we know Allah. And we first, before we ask Allah something, we come and suddenly just ask, Allah give me this, Allah give me this. who you are talking to first. Acknowledge his greatness, acknowledge his power, acknowledge that he is above everything. Acknowledge his attributes first. Praise him first. After you praise him, then be humble in front of him. Then you ask him something. Not suddenly you come and ask, just you need something just from God. Give me money, give me job, give me children, give me business, give me this, give me this, just give me. Who you are talking to? Who should give you? Who? So talk to him, speak about his attributes, and then you can do something else. MashaAllah. Inshallah, we'll be speaking on next sentences after this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the true ma'rifah and recognition and knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us close to him and give us tawfiq to be humble and be obedient to him always in our life, inshallah.